and they're racing to a good start. Hot Rod Charlie got a clean break, so too did For the Top against the inside. Eastern World right there. Everfast, black and white colours in the vanguard as well. On the foot is off the course and wants to try and get across, but he's forced to work. Then further back to Go On, the purple and white colours. Cafu being niggled at just back onto the bridle. Then the Great Collection, New Trails at there outside. Fire Group is 3/4 of the way back. Then we go 2 lengths away to Roman Rosso, who races with Quip, and they're the last 2, and they now get onto the back straight. They've got 1,400 metres left to go, and Elna Food was allowed to slide on by and now gets up into the lead. Hot Rod Charlie right there, half a length away in second. Then comes Eastern World at the outside of For the Top. They 3rd and 4th. Everfast, after showing some intent in the early stages, now in 5th. 3 to 4 lengths adrift. Go On is midfield. That's now kept company by Fire Group. Cafu continues to be niggled at, racing just behind midfield. New Trails in the beige colours is at the outside. They followed further back in running by the Great Collection, Roman Rosso, and Quip is on the wide outside at the corner of the track, and Elna Food and Hot Rod Charlie are right next to each other, 800 metres out. Hot Rod Charlie though has got the rail for help. Elna Food is second. Then comes Go On, who's gained a bit of ground towards the inside as For the Top. Everfast takes the scenic route. They followed by Eastern World, a breakaway to the Great Collection. Then comes Fire Group, all coming to the home straight, about 10 lengths off the leader, and Cafu has dropped out to the back of the field. They inline for home, Elna Food and Hot Rod Charlie at the top of the straight. Hot Rod Charlie is half a length, now 1 length in front. Elna Food is second, then about 4 lengths away to Everfast, who's third. Further back to For the Top is Hot Rod Charlie, 2 lengths to the good over Elna Food, and Hot Rod Charlie is putting the world on notice here. He's 3 to 4 lengths in front, and if he's only 70% fit for tonight for this prep, what about the rest? Hot Rod Charlie wins round 2 of the El Maktoum Challenge and wins it convincingly. Elna Food second. 3rd to Everfast, then came For the Top, the Great Collection. Go On was next to finish. Then came New Trails, they were ahead of Eastern World, Roman Rosso. Further back then to Fire Group, they were ahead of Quip and Cafu.
Well, he'll know he's had a race, Hot Rod Charlie. It wasn't exactly plain sailing. Elna Food has kept him right up to his work for the majority of the race before falling away in the final furlong. Great run from that horse, but ultimately he's got the job done, and if he was 70% coming into this, he'll be more like 90 now.
Yeah, that was, I'd say, the perfect prep, but it probably wasn't. I think he probably had to work a little harder than Connection would have liked, but it gives him a nice layoff now from now until the big night. Yeah, we were hearts in our mouth turning in, because obviously Elna Food eyeballed him the whole way and looked like he was going to throw down the gauntlet. But I think class, and I still believe that Elna Food is better coming back in trip over a mile. You know, he's a strong traveller. It'd be interesting to see if William believes he found a little bit more, or whether he just sort of outstayed the other horse. But yeah, it was a great spectacle to watch. But like I say, we were all kind of gasping a little bit when they swung in. But it was always perfectly well positioned by Will, and yeah, he's now got what, 5 weeks till the big night. More,
7,
I think,
isn't it?
7 weeks.
Yeah,
So you know, they're going to have him. If that was 70%, you'd hate to take on the other 30%.
Well, it'll need to be 100% and then some to beat Life is Good, but he's here. Life is Good is yet to turn up, or even 100% be confirmed for the race, so they've got that going for them. They've won their prep and won it in the end very nicely indeed from Elna Food, who is a proper horse. You can get quite a quick return on your investment for these racing in Dubai sales, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember Elna Food was meant to run in a maiden at Jebel Ali. I think it was Christmas Eve, and Tig was 2 weeks banging on to me about how good this Elna Food was, and I think he had to fly home for Christmas, so he managed to get them to switch it to the, I think he ran a week later. I think he ran earlier.
He ran the day before that then. Very clever.
So yeah, he's a very talented horse, and like I say, look, he's a, like those big stamp Dabawi horses, you know, the North Americas and Mumtaz, is it? Mumtaz of Doug Watson's. He had that.
Oh, Muntazar.
Sorry, yeah. You know, those huge, big, you know, Dabaris that cover so much ground. And like I say, I think, look, it'll be interesting to see where connections go, but I think certainly coming back to a mile looks like it would benefit him more, because, like I say, he's such a strong traveller. You know, he's you know, you'd slightly worry you get to go another half a furlong more in round 3. He's taking on a hypothetical that does stay. But yeah, he's a great investment, and Al Rashid have been, you know, huge supporters of the sale and racing in Dubai in recent years.
Yeah, they've done brilliantly well. Al Rashid Racing, they've had a very good run in recent weeks, but we have to focus on the winner. And if nothing else, and there is plenty else because he's got a lot of ability, he's got a lovely attitude. He was doing all he could for William there. He really responds.
Yeah, and it's just the way about things as well. He doesn't over race. He just gets himself into a perfect slot. I even thought at one point Will just gave him a little squeeze down the back just to sort of get him back on. It was as if he just has a great willing nature about him, and like you say, he's not over big, but he's got a huge heart. And you know, look, these American dirt horses, they are in a different league to what we have here, and yeah, it's he's going to have to, like you say, he's going to have to work hard 7 weeks down the line if life is good is to come. But like you say, he's here. You know, and he's gonna be very familiar with you know, surroundings. You know, he's had that prep race. I think Life is Good ran last week
Pegasus,
in the Pegasus. Is he going to run before?
Don't think so. Can't imagine.
World Cup. So they've got 8 weeks. He's got 7 weeks. It'll be an interesting matchup.
It really will be a brilliant matchup, and that's without several of the others that are being penciled in for the race. We mentioned Sugar Wizard earlier, Midnight Bourbon as well. As Leandro Mora on the right, he has been a linchpin of the Doug O'Neill operation for years. He was here in 2006 with Spring at Last. He was here even before that, I think, with different training connections, and he's been doing the hard work in the mornings. And it's actually, they didn't have an easy time of things. They brought over these 8 horses. They had, I think, a few grooms and riders test positive. So there was one guy, I think his name's Tony, who was trying to ride them all in the morning, and Fernando Jara stepped in and helped William breeze the horse. It's been a big old team effort, and huge congratulations to them all. And they've won a nice Group 2 here and enhanced the horse's CV, and that he's won one abroad, I suppose. But this very much isn't the end game with him. Rod Charlie takes his career stats to 4 from 14 now, and he's getting a nice reception from the crowd. But they get more excited by Godolphin winners, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But I think they're a knowledgeable crowd, and they love to see good horses, and I think they love to see the international runners as well, and they've got they're big fans when the local guys win, and you know, they all have their firm favourites, their stable favourites, but I think they're very appreciative of good horses, and you know, and certainly the international, you know, contingent that come over.
This is such a good horse. He's got a lovely pedigree as well. He's a half brother to the Grade 1 winner Mitoli, as you heard earlier on. I say he costs the current connections 110,000 Fancy Tipton in October, sourced by Dennis O'Neill. And we get another great long American lineup in the winner's enclosure. I love that. This horse is owned by Roadrunner Racing, Greg Helm, Boat Racing, William Strauss, Gainsway Stable, Anthony Beck. Lots of people, which is fun. And they've already told me that there's only really Bill Strauss and I think Patrick, who we heard from earlier, and one other member of Boat Racing, but they're intending on bringing around about 100 people for the World Cup, which will be great fun.
They're great, and these syndicates are great. They're great for racing. I know you've been involved in many, with, you know,
not quite at this level,
Touch Gold and ERC. I think you'll be trying to get Clint to get a leg of this one for you.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure our pockets go that deep.